Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Dr. Farah Naz here from Govt.Degree Science College, Malir, Cantt. And today the topic of my presentation is phytographic scheme. This is the first part of my first lecture. This lecture would be beneficial for the botany student of first year and second year pre-medical group. Now, first of all, discussing about the inflorescence. Inflorescence, it is the collection of the flowers on the floral axis or the peduncle of the plant. It is known as inflorescence. Basically, this inflorescence is divided into two types: racemose and cymose. Racemose further divided into racemose raceme, spike, spikelet, catkin, spadix, corium, umbel, head, and capitulum. Whereas the cymose is divided into three major types: uniparous, biparous, and multiparous. Uniparous is further divided into subtypes helicoid and scorpoid. Now the racemose type of inflorescence definition. It shows the continuous growth of the main axis for the indefinite period and length. The flowers are borne laterally and acropitally. It is further divided into the various groups with the distinct differentiations. Now you can easily observe in this picture that the long green is peduncle or the main axis, and the flowers, they are present at the lateral branches, and the growth of main axis is continue. This is known as racemose type of inflorescence. Racemose raceme is an unbranched indeterminate inflorescence with the pedicellate bisexual flowers along the axis in acropetal succession. Now this one is the main axis or the floral axis, and the flower, they are present at the lateral branches, but the flowers are bisexual and they having pedicel. Pedicellate and bisexual flowers are there in an acropetal succession, means the older flowers, they are towards the lower side and the younger one, they are present towards the upper side. Spike type of inflorescence. A spike is a type of raceme with the flowers that do not have the pedicel. The sessile flowers are there. This is green stalk or the peduncle or the pedicel or the main axis or the floral axis. The flowers, they are present at the lateral branches, but the flowers, they are sessile without stalk directly attached with the main axis. The example is Amaranthus viridis. Spikelet type of inflorescence. This is a small spike with one or three reduced flowers. Mostly the grass family contain this spikelet type of inflorescence. Now see, this is outer glume, inner glume, pedia lemma, and reduced flowers, they are present here. So this type of inflorescence known as the spikelet type of inflorescence. And I mentioned here the reduced flowers. Reduced flowers means if the calyx and corolla cannot be differentiated, it's known as it's converted into the perianth. Calyx and corolla cannot be separated, cannot be distinct. These type of flowers are known as reduced flower. Now the catkin. Catkin, it is the raceme having the unisexual sessile flower. This is the long peduncle, and the long peduncle contain the flowers. These flowers, they are along with the lateral side, they are attached to the lateral sides, and but the flowers, they are unisexual. Female flowers are present here in the mulberry, morus alba. Now spadix type of inflorescence. A spadix is a spike of the flowers densely arranged around it, enclosed or accompanied by the highly specialized bract known as spathe. You can easily observe in these pictures the white color spathe and the purplish spathes are present, and this is a characteristic feature of family Araceae. arum, and banana Musa acuminata. Now this purple sheet is known as spathe and is covered in whole inflorescence. And when the fruit will form, this spathe will fall off from the main axis. Corium type of inflorescence. A racemose corium is an unbranched, indeterminate inflorescence where all the flowers reached at same level of height. Cantt is example. The green line shows the main axis and the flower. They are present at the lateral branches, but they reached at same level. The older flowers, they are towards the lower side. The younger flowers, they are present towards the upper side, but they all reached at same level. And you can easily observe that the older flowers, they contain the long pedicel, whereas the younger one, they contain the short pedicel. Umbel type of inflorescence, in which a short axis or the multiple floral pedicelates of the equal length that appear to arise from the common point. Here in this inflorescence, the point is common. Okay, head and capitulum. It is raceme with flat disc-like axis and has the sessile flowers. Example is Helianthus anus, the sunflower. This is sunflower picture. It contains yellow ray florets, and then in the central region the disc florate is present. The ray florate towards the peripheral region and the disc florate, they are present in the central region. This sunflower, it is a compound flower, but it is also incomplete because the each petal as we are observing here is a flower. See in this picture, ray florets. This yellow petal, actually these are the petals, not only one petal. These are the petals, 5 petals combined together form corolla, gamopetalous condition, and the structure is ligule-like, ligulate corolla is present. And this one is the female gynoecium, contain carpel, stigma style ovary, and the pappus are there, pappus modification of calyx. Whereas the disc florate, it is bisexual flower. It contains male and female both reproductive parts within same flower. This diagram shows the globulus structure, the head inflorescence. The head inflorescence contain the homogamous type of structures. Homogamous means all the flowers, they are present on this head, they are similar, they are alike. In this way you can say that this Helianthus anus, it is heterogamous because it contain 2 type of flowers, the ray florets and the disc florate, can easily distinct. Whereas here in Acacia nilotica contain the homogamous type of structure. Now this one is cymose type of inflorescence. This is the second major type of inflorescence, cymose. The primary axis terminates in the flower, but the growth continues through the lateral buds, which give rise to flowers. The flowers are arranged basipetally. This is Rosa indica, and this rose flower, it contains the pedicel. The pedicel or the stalk is present, and this main axis is the growth of main axis is stop or check out due to the presence of flower on tip. no further growth takes place from this stalk. If the growth is stopped due to the presence of flower on a tip, this type of inflorescence is said to be cymose inflorescence. Now this cymose is further divided into three major types. First is monocageal uniparous cyme. The main axis ends in a flower and produce a single lateral branch that bears flower. Here in this picture, this is main axis and the flower is present at the tip. The growth is restricted. It's stopped because the flower is present at the end. Again, the new growth will form, and from this stalk the new axis will arise, and this at the end of this axis the flower number 2 will form and the growth will stop. Again, from this branch, from this axis, the new branch will form, and at the end of this branch the flower number 3 is present and the growth is stopped, is check out, and further the process will continue. But the one thing is special here, that the uniparous or the monocageal type of inflorescence, only the one flower will form in one time. Again, the second flower will come from the main axis, growth will stop. So it means that at a time only the one flower is formed. Again, the new flower is formed in next time, number 4 will form next time, and number 5 will form next time. This process continue, but each flower contain its own stalk. The main branch will not continue for the further progress. This monocageal or the uniparous cyme is divided into two subdivisions or the kinds. One is known as uniparous helicoid and other is scorpoid. Now first we are going to discuss about the uniparous helicoid. Now the uniparous, of course, it means the one flower will arise at a time, and it's from the helical structure because the lateral branches bearing the flower occur on the same side, forming a sort of a curve or the helix. For example, here this is Solanum nigrum, and you see this flower is present and the growth will stop. Again, the new stalk will form, the growth will check out. Again, next time the new flower will born and the growth will check out. So it's from a helical structure known as helicoid. Uniparous scorpoid. The lateral branches bearing the flowers develop alternatively, forming a zigzag manner. For example, here see the fashion of the structure. Uniparous scorpoid. On the main axis the flower is formed, growth will stop. Again, the new stalk is formed, and the end of this stalk a flower will form and the growth will check out. Next time a new pedicel will form, and at the end of that stalk the flower number 3 will form and the growth will check out. So this process will continue but in zigzag manner. It is known as uniparous scorpoid. Now the bicageal or the biparous cyme. Here the main axis ends in the flower and give rise to two lateral branches bearing flowers acting as the present axis. Example is jasmine. This is main axis and flower is present at the tip and the growth will stop. Next time the two branches will arises from that peduncle and growth will stop due to the presence of flower. Number 2, the presence of flower. Number 2, and the growth will check out. Now in biparous, the 2 flowers are formed. 2 branches will arises and the 2 flower will form at the end of these branches, and the growth will restrict it. Next time again, this branch is divided into 2 branches, and the peduncle is, the growth of peduncle is check out. Flower number 3 here and the flower number 3. So at a time the 2 branches will arises and the growth will check out in the bicazual. Polycazual or multiparous sign. Here the lateral branches are produced more than 2. The rest is same as the bicazual sign. Now here, look at here in this slide. This is the main axis or the peduncle, and at the tip the flower is present, flower number 1. Again the new branches arises from the main peduncle, but these branches are more than 2 at a time. That's why it's known as the multiparous or the polycazual. Here number 1, in this one 1, 2, 2, 2 and 2. The growth will stop, growth stop, growth stop, growth stop. Now next time the division will start, the new branches will form at a time. Number 3, number 3, number 3 from each pedicel. So at a time more than 1 branches will form in this way. The examples are Vincarosia, in Urdu it is known as Sadabahar, and the Calotropis procera, it is also an example. Okay students, now we are going to describe the structure of flower, sometime known as the bloom or the blossom. It is reproductive structure belonging to angiosperm. Dear students, you better know about the distinguished characteristic features of angiosperm and the gymnosperm. The angiosperms, if the seeds are enclosed inside ovary, these type of plants are known as angiospermic plants, whereas the naked seeds are present in the gymnosperm. The biological function of a flower is to mediate the union of male sperm with the female ovum in order to produce seeds. The flower is most attractive part of the plant. It's given the attraction to the insects for the pollination process. When the pollination takes place, followed by the fertilization and the leading to the formation of the dispersal of the seeds. Main parts of flower. Flower contain 4 floral whorls: calyx, corolla, endoecium, gynoecium. The first and the outermost whorl, it is known as calyx. Now in this diagram, this is stalk or the pedicel of the flower, and the green color leafy structure, actually they are the sepals. Sepals are the unit of calyx. Sepals, they unite together and form a calyx. It is green in color, main function is protection, and it is the outermost part of a flower. The second one is known as corolla. The unit of corolla known as the petal, the purple color. Petals are there. Petals combined together form a corolla. Petals are most attractive, showy and beautiful part of the flower. Next is endoecium. The third whorl, it is known as endoecium. This is the male part, and the unit of endoecium, it is known as stamen. Stamen contain three parts: anther, connective, and filament. Now this is the diagram of TS of anther. It is lobed structure, and it contains the sac-like structure. The sac-like structure, it is protected by the tapetum and the other layers, and in this sac-like structure is known as the microsporangium, and the microsporangium contain the microspores, and these microspores are known as the pollen grain. And these pollen grain, the male part, it having the main function during the fertilization process. Gynoecium, this is the fourth whorl of a flower, and the gynoecium, the innermost whorl, most protective whorl in a flower. The unit of gynoecium is known as the carpel or the pistil. This carpel or pistil, it is divided into three parts. One is known as stigma, style, and ovary. Now the terminologies used in the botany. Bracteate, this is the symbol of bracteate flower. If the bracts are present, the flower is said to be the bracteate. Ebracteate if the bracts are absent. Now these are the three diagrams, three pictures in the slide. The first one with the star shape, white corolla, and the green color calyx is present. Flower is pedicellate because the pedicel or the stalk of the flower is present. Now this flower is ebracteate. Bracts are not present. Only the calyx and corolla is present. Now the middle one picture. This flower is blue color flower. It contains the wing-like structures at the base of the calyx. This wing-like structure, it is known as bract. These are the bracts, and the flower is said to be the bracteate flower. It is Clitoria ternatia. Now in this picture, it is ebracteate flower. The pink color corolla is present, but here the bracts are not present. Ebracteate flower. The pink color petals, the green color sepals, and these appendages like structures is present just beneath the calyx. It is known as apicalyx. Next is bisexual. Flowers with endoecium and gynoecium said to be the bisexual. Bisexual flower contain male and female, both reproductive part present within a flower, known as bisexual. Bisexual also said to be the monoecious, one house. Later on we discuss on it on next slide. Unisexual, the flower with endoecium or gynoecium only. It means that only the one sex is present. Maybe the flower would be the staminate or maybe the pistillate. Means the flower with the stamens only. If they are with stamens, then flower would be the unisexual. And if the flower with gynoecium only, the flower is said to be the pistillate flower. Now the pedicellate flower means that the pedicel is present, the stalk is present with the flower. Sessile flower, the pedicel is not present. Complete flower, it means the all floral parts, they are present in a flower. Floral parts are calyx, corolla, endoecium, gynoecium. If the four floral whorls are present, the flower is said to be the complete flower. And if only one is missing, known as incomplete flower. Now the sex distribution: monoecious, dioecious, and polygamous. Monoecious, the presence of male and female flower on the same plant. For example, Abetalon indicum, Rosa indica, bisexual flowers. These are the bisexual flowers. Monoecious or bisexual means that mono means one, ecious means house, one house. Within house, the male and female, both partners are present. So that type of flower is known as bisexual or monoecious. Dioecious, two houses. Male house is separate, female house is separate. Now the presence of male and female flowers in the different plants or on the different branches. Male is separate and female is separate. It's known as unisexual flowers or dioecious, two houses, having two houses, male house and female. They are both are separate from each other. Examples are papaya, Vallisneria, Cocos nucifera. Polygamous. Polygamous type of plants or the flowers, presence of unisexual or the bisexual on the same plant, means the unisexual and the bisexual flowers, they are present on same plant, Mangifera indica and Polygonum. Examples. Now the symmetry of the flower: trimerous, tetramerous, and pentamerous. Trimerous conditions means number of petals or the sepals, they are 3, 1, 2, 3 petals or the multiples of 3. This type of plant is known as trimerous. Tetramerous, 4 petals or the 4 sepals or the multiples of 4. Pentamerous, 5 petals or 5 sepals or maybe the multiple of 5, known as pentamerous. Structural symmetry: actinomorphic and zygomorphic, two types. Actinomorphic, the flower can be divided into two equal halves by the vertical section through the center. Hibiscus rosa sinensis, China rose is example, Rosa indica is example. Now actinomorphic plants or the flowers, they having radially symmetrical flowers, and when you have to cut the flower from its center, you can obtain two equal halves from more than one planes, known as actinomorphic. And the zygomorphic, they are bilateral symmetrical flowers. The flowers can be divided into two equal halves by one vertical section only. Examples are Clitoria and Ocimum. Okay, the position of gynoecium on the thalamus: hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous. Hypogynous, ovary superior. Perigynous, ovary half superior, half inferior. Epigynous, ovary inferior. Now the definition of hypogynous, ovary superior. The thalamus is conical or the convex. Therefore, the gynoecium is at the upper level than the other floral parts. Example: Hibiscus rosa sinensis, Datura alba. Perigynous, half superior, half inferior ovary. The thalamus is concave or saucer shape. The gynoecium is at the center and the other floral parts are along with the margin. Examples: Crotalaria, Tephrosia. Epigynous, ovary inferior. The thalamus is deep, cup-like structure with gynoecium inside, and the thalamus and the ovary are fused. The other floral parts are above the level of the ovary. Example: Tridex. Now in this picture you can easily understand about the position of the ovary with the help of diagrams. Now first is hypogynous, ovary superior. Ovary is superior. How? When the floral whorls, they are below from the base of the ovary, the position of the ovary becomes superior. In this diagram you can easily observe the red sepals, the blue petals, and the yellow endoecium. They are all arises at the base of the ovary, and the ovary base becomes superior. It is known as hypogynous. The second is known as the perigynous, half superior, half inferior. In this diagram, this green color is the ovary and this is ovary base. Now the sepals, petals, and endoecium position. Sepals are below from the base of the ovary, but the corolla or the petals or the stamens, they are arises at the above side of the ovary. That's why the position of ovary become intermediate. The some parts they are below from the base of the ovary, and some part they are above from the base of the ovary. That's why the position of the ovary become half superior, half inferior, or intermediate. Now the epigynous in position. Epi means above. Gynous, gynoecium. Epigynous. This is gynoecium, or the carpal unit of gynoecium is known as carpal, stigma style, and ovary, this is known as carpal. Now the base of ovary is below, and all the floral whorls, calyx, corolla, endoecium, they are above from the ovary base. That's why the position of ovary become inferior. Okay students, and this is little bit about the phytographic scheme. Hope so this presentation would be helpful for the botany students, whether they are from first year or second year, and we will continue inshallah and complete all the terminology which are remaining. Thank you.